If you live in the great state of Texas, well, hey, that's where we're based, right in Austin, Texas, and you're looking for Medicare supplement plans in Texas, you came to the right place. Now, I am going to discuss what the best plans in Texas are, though they're the best plans in any state, but also what the best companies are. And there's one in particular that is outstanding with some of the lowest rate increases out of any of them in the entire country. So keep watching. My name is Russell Noga. I'm the owner of Medisupps.com. We're an online insurance agency for senior healthcare, helping seniors across the country with their Medicare supplement insurance. We're licensed in 47 different states, but based right here in good old Austin, Texas. And we love our Texas clients and helping them out to find the best Medicare supplement insurance year after year. Now, there are a variety of different companies, as you probably know, who offer Medicare supplement insurance in Texas. So whether you're new to Medicare, maybe just turning 65, or maybe you worked a couple extra years and you're retiring now and coming on Medicare, and if so, congratulations. Or if you've got a Medicare supplement plan already, we shop all the top companies as an independent agency here in Texas to make sure our clients are always paying the least amount possible for the very best coverage. So in this video, I wanted to cover some of the more important facts when it comes to shopping for Medicare supplement insurance. Sure, you've got the different plan letters. You probably have heard of some, like Medicare Supplement Plan G, which is the most popular plan, or perhaps Plan N, or maybe you folks who were on Medicare prior to January 1st of 2020, you might still have a Plan F. Now, that's not available for new people. We'll be focusing on Plan G and Plan N for you guys. So in this video, I want to cover everything that it takes for you folks in Texas to find the best plan. And of course, we're here to help. However, there are some facts that you need to know when it comes to shopping for these Medicare supplement plans that are very, very important, such as premiums, rate increases. How do companies handle those? That's a big one these days because sometimes people get substantial rate increases. That's when people call us, we shop their rates, and we find them a lower premium. Now, being an independent agency, like I mentioned, we have access to all the top companies. But let's start with some of the Medicare supplement plans that are available and the plan letters. Now, what do Medicare supplement plans in Texas do? Well, they simply help you pay the gaps or expenses of original Medicare, that's Part A and Part B, that you're required to pay. You're responsible to pay these. Things like deductibles, copays, and coinsurance. Well, you bring in a Medicare supplement plan or Medigap plan. They're the same thing, called two different names, and they help pay those gaps, most of them. Now, Plan F, which I mentioned went away in 2020. If you have one, you were able to keep it, but I don't ever recommend it, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Plan F pays 100% of those gaps. And what that means is you get 100% coverage from day one. You show your cards at the doctor, you never get a medical bill. Pretty sweet, but extremely expensive. There's a better option, and that is Medicare Supplement Plan G. Now the most popular plan. We are moving people daily, sometimes 10 to 12 people a day, from Plan F down to Plan G. And I'll tell you the difference in a moment, but they are saving a substantial amount of money on their premiums. Now, as I mentioned, Plan F pays 100% of the gaps of Part A and Part B. Plan G does the same thing after you simply pay the annual Part B deductible. Now, what is that? Well, before Medicare pays 80% of your medical bills, and that would be under Part B for outpatient services, most of the things you'll be going to the doctor for, Medicare Plan G has a deductible that you must meet. So Part B, Medicare, it will pay 80% of your bills after somebody pays, now we're in 2020, the first $198 of those medical bills. That is the Part B deductible. That's going to go up a little each year. 2021, it might be about $210 or $215. We don't know yet. However, the rules are going to remain the same. On Plan G, you pay the first whatever, in this case, 2020, $198 of your medical bills. After that, Medicare pays 80%. Plan G comes in, pays up the difference. Up to no limit, you get 100% coverage after you pay that deductible. Now, another very popular plan that we are writing a lot of here in Texas is called Medicare Plan N. It's just like Plan G, where you still pay that deductible. However, on Plan N, you might have up to a $20 copay per doctor's visit. Now, you might be saying, well, gee, Russell, why would I want that? Plan G sounds a lot better than Plan N. Well, you get a lot lower premiums on Plan N. And we shop those rates for you, and I could tell you in a simple phone call the difference. However, it could be substantial. It could be nice lower premiums, and you might have a small copay of up to $20 per doctor's visit after you pay that Part B deductible if you have a Plan N. Now, that copay is up to $20, which means it's a maximum of $20. You could have a smaller copay or you could have no copay. It just depends on what you go to the doctor for. However, it will never be more than $20. Also on Plan N, a little difference than Plan G, is if you visit the emergency room and you're not admitted, meaning you go home, you will have a $50 copay. Also, it doesn't cover something called Part B excess charges, which you probably will never see. They're very rare. Could come up, but that would be a small amount. So Plan N's another great option for people in Texas on their Medicare supplement plans. So you might be saying, well, sounds great, Russell. That's great coverage, but what company do I go with? Well, there are a variety of companies available in Texas offering Medicare supplement plans. Now, again, as I mentioned, I've been doing this since 2008, been a top producer in the country, and I've seen companies come and go, and I've seen some stick around. And if you're new to Medicare, some of them you may have heard of, but some maybe not, because maybe they just focus on some types of insurance like Medicare supplement insurance that you've never had to get before. So maybe you've just never heard of these companies. So you've got some big name companies that most likely you have heard of. That would be Mutual of Omaha or Aetna or Cigna. Now, these are fantastic companies, and each company offers the same coverage within each plan letter. It's one of the most important points to consider when shopping for Medicare supplement insurance is that they all have the same plans. That means the Plan G I mentioned before is identical if Mutual of Omaha offers it or if Aetna offers it. But they can charge whatever price they want for it, or in reality, it's based on a mathematical formula that they have to meet by law. The most important thing is they all have different premiums. So how do you know if you call an insurance carrier and get their premium and they say, sure, it's $150 a month? You have a 1 in 10 chance or more of that being the best option. That's where we come in as independent agents, shop all the rates from all the top companies, and you never pay us a dime for it. Our service is free. However, there's one company in Texas that I do want to mention, and now they've been one of my favorite companies for the last 11 years. They're fantastic. Nice low premiums as well as low rate increases. The name of that company is New Era Life Insurance. Now, they have different divisions depending on which state they're in. Currently in Texas, they write business under the name of Philadelphia American. Probably the best company you never heard of. Now, the reason why, or a couple different reasons why you may never have heard of them, is they don't pay the agents a lot of commission. Agents are not telling people about them because they don't get paid as much. I've been in business 11 years. We've been doing this for a long, long time with thousands and thousands of clients, and I've always done what's right by my client. And giving you the option of enrolling with Philadelphia American, or at least showing them and showing you their rates, is the best possible thing I could possibly do. In fact, I'll give you a little fun game. If you're talking to any other agents before you call me, let me know if they don't bring up Philadelphia American. They'll probably see this video and have to start saying it. I don't care, but chances are they don't even mention them to you. Then give me a call and I'll shop the rates for you. Now, they have a 6% household discount as well if you're applying with a spouse. However, even without the discount, there's some of the lowest premiums out there, if not the lowest in Texas. And the best way to find out is to just give me a call at 1-888-891-0229. And in a couple of minutes, I don't even want to know what the other agents tell you. I will give you their premium and we can see if they're the lowest. Maybe they're not. I don't know. However, here's another great reason why we should seriously consider Philadelphia American for your Medicare supplement plan in Texas. This company, on average, has had some of the lowest rate increases every year than any other company out there for a couple different reasons. They don't spend a lot on advertising. Again, you've probably never heard of them. They don't pay the agents a lot of commission, like I mentioned, but they are very difficult to get on with if you're changing from a different company in their Medicare supplement plan to New Era. Now, I say difficult as in if you've had a recent major health condition, they possibly will decline you. We could talk about that and I can let you know. We have a good idea of if an insurance carrier may or may not accept you. But New Era's underwriting guidelines, meaning who they accept in, are far more strict than any other company out there. That helps keep the rate increases low, on top of the lower commission and the other things I mentioned. Now, if you're new to Medicare, just turning 65, or again, retiring and finally coming on Part B Medicare, you're in what's called an open enrollment period, where Philadelphia American or any insurance carrier has to give you the coverage. There's no medical underwriting at all. So you've got that going for you, which is a great option to get in with them. I don't want to say while you can, because I pray to God nothing ever happens to you. However, there are a lot of people out there who are probably watching this video, but also a lot of people out there on a Medicare supplement plan that have a health condition that won't allow them to move, which means they are in fact stuck with that premium until either they are okay with that health condition, or maybe they just have to keep that. Now, that's great because you have outstanding coverage if you have a Medicare supplement plan. However, my job is to try and save my clients as much money as possible through the years. And if you can get on with a company like Philadelphia American, absolutely I would take advantage of that, only because I have thousands of clients with them and they have some of the lowest premiums and rate increases I've ever seen. Now, I shop the rates every year for you to make sure that you get the lowest premiums when you get those rate increases. And every company has them. It's very rare that a company goes down. So plan on getting that letter in the mail with that rate increase. If we can get on in Texas with a company like Philadelphia American and those nice low rate increases, well, you've got a far better chance than the other companies. And that's based on those factors I mentioned, as well as my 11 years of experience in this business. It's not often that I move somebody off of this company. That's how low their rate increases can be. Now, anything can happen, so don't hold me to that. However, choosing a Medicare supplement plan, there's only one logical way to do it. If you ever have an agent that says their rate increase will be X amount, 3% or something, they don't know. They're lying to you. Nobody knows. Not even the insurance carriers know. So we just choose companies, or I help you choose a company based on experience and my knowledge of the business, but also the factors I mentioned that they have in place. So when you have stricter underwriting guidelines, you keep the rate increases lower because historically, from an actuarial standpoint, there will be less health claims. And companies raise the rates based on the amount of claims being paid out of their group versus new premiums coming in. Now, I know that was kind of a long explanation, but that's how important it is. I want to stress to you that you allow me to check New Era and Philadelphia American rates for you. And to do that, like I mentioned, the best way is just give me a call now at 1-888-891-0229. Maybe they're not the best option, but if they're not, I'll find it for you. Again, I'm an independent agent, as well as my top agent here, Diana Firth. We shop all the top companies for you. So when you're looking for Medicare supplement plans in Texas, look no further than Medisupps.com. Give us a call now. We're happy to help you out.